Hello. So today we will write a program to check whether a particular date is valid or not. So this program is to check whether a date is a valid date or not. Okay. So for this we will make the user interaction to enter the value of dd, value of and value of Okay, then what we need to check is the dd value should range in between 1 to 31. The value of should range between 1 to 12. And the value of I want to check it should range between 1900 to say 2050. So this you can change as per your requirement, but right now I'm assuming that the valid date for the valid date, the year value should range from 1900 to 2050. Okay. Now, in case of date, all these dates are not valid because we know that for the month 2, so if the month is 2, we need to check for the leap year. Okay. So, for the month 2, we need to check for the leap year. So, if it is a leap year, then for leap year, date should not exceed value 29, and for not leap year, the date should not exceed 28. Okay, and further we need to check the month values for, say, if it is equal to say 4, or month value equal to 6, or month value equal to 9, or month value equal to 11. The date should not exceed, or it should be less than or equal to 30 only, not the 31. Otherwise the date 31 will be okay. So all these conditions we need to check to decide that the entered date is valid or it is invalid. So let us take some flag variables also apart from this dd, and yy. So one flag value I will set to 1, and I'll check these conditions. If any of these conditions are not fulfilled, I'll change the flag value to 0 so that I can take the decision that the entered date is not valid. Another variable I'll take is leap. So this variable will give me if the year value is a leap year or not. So I'll set it to 0. So let us start writing the program and let us check the range for the year, the range for the date, and the range for the So year should not be less than 1900 or should not be greater than 2050. Similarly, month value should not be less than 1 or should not be greater than 12. Similarly, the dd value should not be less than 1 and should not be greater than 21. Okay, so if these conditions, whatever I am telling conditions, any of the condition is true, then I'll say that flag is 0 and I'll not check any further conditions then. So let us start writing the program. So let us first include iostream using namespace std, writing main. First of all, we will have the variables dd, and yy, and I am taking some more variables like flag set to 1 and isLeap set to 0. Then let us take the values of dd, and yy from user. So enter date in the form of dd comma mm comma yy. Here I'll say cn dd cn mm and cn yy, and then I'll put a condition that if the value of yy is less than, as we have decided, less than 1900, so it's less than 1900, or I'll check the condition of yy again if it is greater than 2050, or I'll check the conditions for dd. First we will check the condition for mm if it is less than 1. So if the value of mm is less than 1 or the value of is greater than 12. So all these conditions I am checking where my date is not valid. So if dd is 1 or value of dd is greater than 31. So I need not to check the further conditions in this scenario. So I'll just say flag equal to 0. If all these conditions are false, that is if my value of year is greater than 1900 and less than equal to 2050, my month value is also greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 12, my date value is also greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to 31, then only the control will come over here, and I'm checking the next condition, that is else if now I need to check that whether month is equal to 2. So this is my second condition. I'm checking the month. If the month ka value is equal to 2, then here in this if I need to check whether the dd is equal to 30 or dd is equal to 31 or dd is equal to 29 and the year is not a leap year. So here my leap year flag is set to 0. I need to check the leap year also before I enter into the condition. So I'll check here if year value is mod 4 and year value is mod with mod 100 is is not equal to 0, then I can say that the year is a leap year. So I'll say is leap is equal to 1. So now this is the end of this is end of this, and here I'll put one more opening parenthesis so that my parentheses are balanced now. Okay, I need to check one more condition, that is or, and this is the conditions for leap year. Yy modulo 400 equal to 0. If all these conditions are true, I need to put one more parenthesis which will get closed over here. Okay, so my this condition should be true for the year value to be it is a leap year, or this condition should be true. If either of these two conditions are true, I can say that the year value is a leap year. So I am just changing the value of is leap, which is set to 0, to 1 if either of these two conditions This is the condition 1, this is the condition 2. If either of these two conditions are true, then my leap year flag is set to true, because in this scenario the year is leap year. Now I can use this variable leap year over here while checking the month is equal to this condition. So I'm checking if the month is equal to 2. Over here I'll be checking if TD equal to 30 or DD equal to 31 or DD equal to 29 and is leap. So I'm checking that if it is if the DD is 30 or if the DD is 31 in case of month equal to 2. I want to set the flag as a false, like I set the flag as false. If the range of year, the range of month and the range of date is not valid, I'm setting flag to 0. Similarly, if the month is 2, I want to check whether the date is 30 or 31, and if it is 29, then it should not be a leap year. So if it is 29 and if it is not a leap year, okay, I want to set the flag to 0. So here I'll say flag is equal to 0. Let us check the parenthesis. So here I need to put one opening parenthesis, and in the last I need to put one closing parenthesis. So I'm putting these three conditions, condition number 1, condition number 2, and this is the condition number 3 from here to here, wherein I'm checking if date is 29 but it is not a leap year, because if date is 29 it should be a leap year. So if either of these three conditions are true, I want to say that set the flag to 0. So flag equal to 0. So this is my first condition to set the flag to 0. This is my second condition to set the flag to 0. So now what I have checked is, through this condition I have checked that the year is valid, month is valid, and date is also valid. In this condition I am checking that if month is 2, then the date should be 29 if it is leap, and it should be 28 otherwise. So if TD ka value is 29 and if it is not leap, then the date is invalid, so I'm making flag to 0. And then I need to check else if. Now I need to check the other values of month, that is month is 4, 6, 9 or 11, because if the month value is 4, 6, 9 or 11, then the DD should not go beyond 30. So here I'll check if the month is, so the ka value is equal to 4. Here variable name is or ka value is equal to 6, or ka value is equal to 11, sorry, first of all 9, or or equal to 9, sorry 11, then if this is the condition, then I need to check inside this if, that if DD equal to 31, then also my date is not valid, so I'm setting flag to 0. Okay, let us put a begin over here so that it will not be, there will not be any confusion now. In this if, this is the end of this if. Now here my if else if, so this if is starting here, this is else if and this is else if. This if is going to set the value of is leap to 1 if it is a leap year, so that I can use that variable over here. So if it is a leap year, this will become false, and this condition will become false. Okay, so with dd is equal to 29, it should be a leap year. So if dd is equal to 29 and e's leap year is true, that is 1, this not will change it into 0, that is false. And in that scenario, this condition will return false. Okay. So or means either of these condition. If it is false, then the entire condition expression will return as false. And that is what we want. Okay. So here this else if ladder is getting completed. Now I can make the decision depending on flag. If flag equal to 0, then I can say that the date is not valid, and if the flag remains 1, then I can say the date is valid. If you are writing it into a function, then you can return true or false accordingly, and then return 0, and my program completes over here. Let us